Oh. You okay? Welcome back to this thing we call the Alone Season 7 Weekly Update. To my right, as always, is the lovely Miss Gabby. And I'm Hingle McCringleberry. And today we're going to talk about Episode 6 of Alone Season 7, a.k.a. the $1 Million Challenge, a.k.a. the most fun you'll ever have, as long as you don't have fur or gills. So, nobody tapped again this week. No one went home. No one got hurt. No one got extracted. But we still saw some pretty chat-worthy things. So let's dive right in, shall we? All right. So, all right. We might as well just go ahead and continue talking about Roland. I think we've said enough about Roland by now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh. He did kill that ox by hand, basically with nothing but a belt knife, I believe is what he said, which was difficult to watch. Then he carved it up, which was also difficult to watch. Then he ate pieces of its heart, raw, which was also difficult to watch. Then he licked the blood off his hands, which was very difficult to watch. Then he cooked and ate heart donuts.
That was a gross.
If this episode did not turn you into a vegan, you are a carnivore for life. But we do have to give Roland credit where credit is due. And that ox, I believe, he said that it was like 2 miles away from his camp. So he took this thing down and hacked it up into pieces and carted these bundles of ox burger, if you will, back to his shelter repeatedly for like a week. I think it was like 6 days or something like that, 5 or 6 days that it took him to do this. So good for him. He actually managed to do it, and I'm anxious to see if he's actually going to get to keep all of it. More to come on him. Amos. We love Amos. He got visited by a bear in the night. He'd already been visited by a wolverine, so the predators are still around, and for some reason they like him. But he got visited by a bear. Then he lost his gill net. That's bad. I was actually worried for him. But what did Amos do? He actually went ahead and made a brand new gill net by hand in 1 day. Now, I'm going to say that again for a very specific reason. He made a whole new gill net by hand in 1 day and immediately caught a fish with it. I'm going to bring that up again in a little while, and you'll understand why. But we love this guy for just that reason. Then we got to see Mark again. Mark, our buddy Mark, who apparently wised up. Last time we saw Mark, he was laying in a berry patch waiting for a bear. And at some point, he must have come to realize, boy, this is stupid. Because he's alive and well. And he apparently didn't run into that bear, which is good. And he's apparently spent the last couple episodes, because we didn't really see him last episode, so he's spent the last few days or so reflecting on how dumb of an idea that was. But also, he kind of spent that time writing and performed a cool little ditty for us, which I thought was hilarious. And I actually thought it was 10 times better than the music video that Joel did last week. I know it burns me to say that. But well done, Mark. However, Mark is not catching fish in his net anymore. That's not good. Bum, bum, bum. Nothing. He's pretty much caught all the fish in the lake, I think. He's got all the dead fish bundled up in a great big bundle that he's hanging from a rope to keep it away from the bears. It's apparently a proven method for campers to hang their food from trees to keep it away from bears. But now from this bear, apparently, while Mark was out checking his gill net, this ninja bear snuck into his camp, somehow managed to get those fish down off of that rope, and made off before Mark even came back. Ooh. So Mark has declared war on this phantom bear. But this time, instead of laying on the ground in the middle of a berry patch, Mark has wised up, and he's built this hunting shelter, this raised hunting shelter at the top of these couple of trees. So good for him. I'm anxious to see how that plays out, although I have a feeling it's not going to play out the way we're expecting it to. I have a feeling that this bear, after eating all those fish, now has a belly full of Mark's fish and has said, yep, I'm ready to go hibernate now, and we're probably never going to see this bear again. But kind of hope I'm wrong, because I'm anxious to see if Mark actually does get to do battle with a bear. And then there's Kylan. Kylan still can't fish. She's got the bonehead idea to build a raft. Now, as we've seen time and time again from previous contestants, the raft idea never pays off. We've seen people build rafts out of big plastic containers. We've seen them build rafts out of wood. We've seen them build rafts out of barrels. We've even seen a guy, Jose, build a canoe. And it never pays off. People have fallen off of the rafts and gotten hypothermia. People have just failed miserably with the raft idea. But for some reason, Kylan is hungry, and she's starting to get the boneheaded idea to do silly things like make a raft. And, of course, it failed. She only made it about 15 feet offshore, got stuck in a boulder, and almost tipped over before coming to her senses and saying, okay, this was dumb. Big, fat waste of time. Then there's Joe. Earmuffs. God damn it, Joe. All right, you're good. Joe still has no shelter. And now he is surprised and angry that his stuff is getting wet. And his tarp has holes in it now. So Joe has decided to finish his shelter with the tarp that has holes in it. Earmuffs. God damn it, Joe. Okay, you're good. And check this clip out. Joe apparently has started to make a gill net and clearly has not finished it. It's been 35 days at this point, and he's got this half-assed made gill net hanging there. Again, I would like to remind you that Amos has made a brand new gill net by hand in 1 day and already caught a fish. Damn it, Joe. That's pretty much it. We saw Callie for all of 35 seconds, and she didn't really do much other than say she was excited that it's snowing. And we didn't get to see Joel. I'll be okay, I think. Pretty much it. Gabby, what's next?
Here's the stat sheet.
So yes, here is the stat sheet. Couple of minor updates to the stat sheet that you will see. Against my better judgment, I have gone ahead and raised Roland to an A+ status. He's right up there in the superhero level along with Joel and Mark. So at this point, we have 3 super strong guys that stand a good chance of winning. And we're only not even halfway through the 100 days yet. The only other thing I changed on here is my girl Kylan. Unfortunately, I bumped her now down to a C because she is just falling apart at the seams at this point, I think. I had no new predictions this week. Dave had no new predictions this week, but that does not mean we have no new predictions this week. That's right. Linda has jumped on the prediction bandwagon, and she has made not 1, not 2, but 3 predictions. Go, Linda. So let's take a look. Linda's first prediction, oh my goodness. Linda has predicted, again against my better judgment, that Joe is going to win the whole thing. We have seen this before. We have seen the underdog lay around and do nothing but eat limpets and win the whole thing by outlasting everybody else. I don't think this is going to happen, but it might. And if it does, oh my God, will I be upset. I will probably go out and adopt my own musk ox and name it Joe and then murder it with my own teeth. Linda's second prediction is that Callie, out of the 2 women in the show, Callie will outlast Kylan. That's a pretty safe prediction. I think I like that. I think I'm leaning towards that. Callie is definitely a lot stronger than Kylan right now. And then for Linda's third prediction, she has predicted that Kylan's shelter will catch fire. That's an interesting one, especially considering that if anyone watched the coming attractions for next week's episode, we definitely did see a shelter on fire, but I think it was Mark. I hope I'm wrong, but I think it was Mark. What was that, Lisa? Did you have something to add?
I think it's a man because you hear his
Lisa-
voice. Oh my God, my shelter's
See,
on fire.
yes, Lisa agrees, and I think it was Mark's voice. Again, I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. That doesn't mean just one shelter is going up in flames this season.
true.
So, Linda, you could still be in there. And I think that might be it for predictions. We do have an MVP for this week's episode. So can I have a drum roll, please? Drum roll, drum roll. The MVP for this week is indeed Mark's Pecs and Abs. That's right. You are welcome, ladies. There are so many people in this world who are only good looking from their neck to their ankles, and Mark is no exception. But he pulled it off, quite literally, nicely. So that is pretty much it. Gabby, do you have anything to add?
Have a good night.
Fantastic. See you next week.